Yo guys, Haku here, and today it's time for the Tower of God Chapter 267, that's Season 2, Episode 187 review. Now this was a really good chapter, and I really enjoyed it, start to finish. It was really fun to read, kept my attention, kept me excited to read, and really made me really excited for next week. Because it's one of those where I kind of have a little, I expect to hear a lot of things about the new girl and whatnot next week, but I don't know exactly what we're going to get. So it has just the right amount of things we think are going to happen and things we don't know about yet, but I'll get into that as we break this down. And once I break the chapter down, I'll give my general thoughts and give it a score like usual. So first, before we get our little chapter title card, and this week was Dallar Show 15, I think? Dallar Show's been going on for a good little while, but it's been one of the better arcs we've had. Even though the recent arcs have all been really good, I'm a huge Hell Train fan, I really love this part of the story. I've got to say that this Dallar Show arc has maybe been my favorite since Revolution Road, which was the first arc of the Hell Train storyline. Got distracted, so I got way off from talking about the title card. So yeah, before the title card, we get the announcement coming over that we heard last week that the round had ended, and Joaquin starts fading into energy, getting teleported out of there or whatever, and he's getting teleported out. Akka's all pissed off and distraught that they could not stop him from fusing together and escaping, and they didn't succeed. So Akka's upset, and we get into a flashback with the old Team Boro from, I believe it's 600-700 years ago. So the flashback to Team Boro, we got Boro yelling at Daniel because he found out about Rowan killing the dude that worked for Joaquin, and now everybody's hunting them. And Daniel explains that it was rigged from the start. This is always how it was going to go. Joaquin won, and now they're all being hunted because of Joaquin's plot, not because Rowan particularly killed anyone or it's their fault as a team. Then Piropo shows up, and he has a book from Joaquin's room, and we find out that was the spell book, and that's what Rowan presumably used to seal Joaquin away, and it cost her her life. So Akka's flipping out it should have been me. I was the team's defender. I'm supposed to defend my allies. I should have given my life instead of Rowan. And Daniel's thinking to himself during all of this, no, Akka, no, it was nobody's fault. Nobody should have had to die. Not Rowan, not anyone. And then we go from that transitioning back to Prince and his group in the cage, and we only see them briefly, but I liked that we were seeing them again. We had Akraptor and Misang behind Prince asking what he saw, and he said he saw what looked like a white figure. So I'm personally hoping that was either the girl that showed up later in the chapter, or it was Albelda, and either way, since that happened earlier, I'm hoping that maybe they're going to be involved in this round, or they're going to escape during this round and play some part somewhere, because I like those characters. I like Prince, even though I feel like he was nerfed a lot from when he first showed up in the series. He's a lot weaker now. I still like Prince, and I'm a huge Akraptor fan. Really love Akraptor. And I'm a huge fan of Cheng Blarode, or Vlador, however this translation does it. Huge fan of him, and I want to see more of him. So I really want to get that group involved in some way. We still don't know where Ron's team is, or Novik's team rather. Ron's just on it. He isn't the leader. Screw Ron. But well, I got distracted again. So that's all we saw of Prince's group before we went back to Joaquin walking into the core where they're having the final round. And he walks in, and this is probably one of my favorite, at least one of my favorite two parts of this chapter, where he walks in and he's like, I wonder how many people from my team survived. And it's just Rachel and Yura there, and Joaquin laughs at them and he's like, man, you didn't kill the sweet fish, and you two are the only two that even survived the round, so to speak. You're really useless. And then when he calls Rachel useless again, we again just get the panel of her being quiet with the shadow over her eyes. So I think Rachel has a bigger part to play, and I want to say that she's probably going to betray Joaquin in some way and become the forefront antagonist, because as much as I love Joaquin, I feel like Rachel and her team have the way that they're allied with FUG. I think there's a lot more to be explored there. We still have a lot of stuff to see with Emily and the mysterious cloaked guy that's with Casino, so we still have a lot to go through there. The plot has a lot of options right now, and I'm really enjoying it as a whole. So now we get the little internal monologue with Piropo in modern time that shows that, okay, he's upset that Daniel was betrayed, and he never liked Joaquin. He was just in it to help Daniel get Rowan back. So Piropo is now on Bomb's side, wants to try to figure out a way for Bomb to win. So I think that's going to be another interesting thing that's going to happen next round. We're going to have sort of FUG and Pedro of the Death Eye trying to rig it one way, and Piropo maybe trying to rig it the other way. So that could be an interesting plot point that we could get in the coming round, or if another arc starts like after, like the next chapter is something other than Dallar Show titled. So then we get the big reunion of Bomb's team, the group that's with him and the group that was with Kun and Rack. And the more I thought about it, just paying attention to the reunion, because we get to see the two subordinates that are with Akka. We get to see them have some actual lines here, real lines of dialogue. So seeing them actually get real lines, and the way that she's dressed and her hair and eyes are, I think the one that I keep calling Lolly in the Bane mask is, I think that she could be related to Akka in some way, like maybe she's Akka's younger sister, and he's from not one of the 10 great families, but from just an important family in general, and they're related, or maybe they're just related not from an important family. But I think that the way they were talking and the way they were like, we need to start pulling our weight now, I think the two of them may actually like get named and play a decent role in the coming storyline, since they've kind of been in the background up until now. And now with our injured and R.I.P. Muntari and Hongjo, our injured and dead Team Bomb members, we're going to need those two to step up, or to bring in the Team Novik or the group with Prince in the cage. Now the next things we get are Bomb tells Kun and Rack about what Elliot told him about White, and it's just pretty much Kun and Rack's reaction. Rack is like, is that a food? Is that something we can eat? And Kun just says, well, if he's not completed and he can't unleash the spell on the train, then he's just a normal regular until then. So there's nothing to worry about until he's completed, right? So Kun's trying to be calm about it, and we get a flashback showing that Kun allowed Rachel and Yura to keep $1 each so that they could go on into this round. And if they lose this round and Kun wins, then Rachel will have to tell Kun about her and Bomb's past. So that's an interesting plot point. I think somehow they'll end up winning, or the match won't like finish properly, because I don't think we're going to get her just explaining that to Kun that easily yet. I don't think we're going to have anything happening that easily or that soon. We get Pedro, Yuri, and Evan watching, and this is my second favorite part, because I just loved Pedro has a short little couple sentence or two monologue, like, it's about to be over, you're about to lose, are you nervous, princess? And Yuri and Evan are just sitting there with their 3D glasses eating popcorn, and that was the best part. That was hilarious. I absolutely loved it. Great comedy. And I liked Yuri's little response where she was like, as soon as it ends, you'll be dead in 10 seconds. Don't worry about it. So that was great. Loved that part. And then we get into Piropo about to announce the name of the final game, and a girl shows up with red eyes, white hair, the little crown, and she's like, I'm the last part of White, and Joaquin's flipping out like, What are you talking about? Don't insult me. None of my siblings look like you. So I'm going to do a complete video on who I think she is, either tomorrow or Thursday. Maybe Thursday, I'm thinking. I'll do a video on theories about her, because I've seen a lot of just way off the wall theories about her that I don't get how people think it, but I'm going to discuss them, just discuss all the different theories and the ones I personally think. But I will say, I even said it in my live reaction, I think it's Rowan, and maybe somehow Rowan fused with or absorbed Albelda, who is the last piece of light that we haven't seen yet. So I'm putting my bets on it's Rowan, but I would also really enjoy it if it was just a completely new character. Just someone new who either absorbed Albelda or didn't and is just from the REA family and just came to kick ass and take names. I'd like something random like that. I mean, I think it would be good to throw just another element into the storyline like that. And throwing the character in altogether, the new girl, was a good twist. I didn't expect it. I don't really think anyone expected it. And I think it added a lot to the story. I really think it gave it a whole new dimension than just Bomb and Joaquin are fighting next chapter. So in the end, I thought the plot and the progression and the twist in this were awesome. And the part I think I liked most is I liked going around between the characters a lot, so we could kind of see at least a little bit, check in on them. Now that's something that I don't want to like have every single chapter or anything, but having it every once in a while, like in this chapter, it works really well. Just check in on everybody, show us that they're still here, and tell us what they're doing or thinking. So the artwork looked great, but it's not the best that we've seen. So artwork was good as usual, but nothing like out of the ordinary good. I thought that the new girl, her design looked really, really good. And I thought that there were a few panels of Kun, Bomb, and Joaquin that all looked really good. And maybe one or two panels of Akka that I thought looked nice. Even though Akka's kind of not, he's like me, he's not the best looking dude. So, me and Akka. I felt for him a lot more this chapter. So finally for my score, I thought it was surprising and exciting, and it really got me excited for next week's chapter, so I'm giving it 8.5 white clones out of 10. Like if you guys like the chapter or anything I had to say or whatever, share with your friends if they're interested in Tower of God and might like the video. Subscribe for more Tower of God, One Piece, Walking Dead, an anime review, at least one every week. Just random videos, having fun, just talking with you guys, saying a lot. Yeah, saying a lot. That's something that this channel definitely has. Like, subscribe, comment. Jeez, how did I forget that one? Comment. Put what you thought down in the comments. You know where they go. Follow on Twitter for updates and when I'm posting videos and stuff. Sorry for getting rambly. I will see you guys around.